Another day, another Yankees loss. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Yankees on Deck podcast. I'm your host, Matt Cunningham, and the Yankees lose yet another game. This time they're down in Tampa for a 3-game set, and Carlos Rodon got the ball tonight against Rays right-hander Ryan Pepiot. I don't know if I'm saying that name correctly, but I really, frankly, don't care. And the Yankees, again, continue to struggle. They lose this one 5-3. Tampa, who's not a great team by any stretch, they're now a game below 500 at 45-46. They beat up on the Yankees today. And it really started in the bottom of the first. The Yankees had a lead for a hot minute, roughly like 5 seconds it felt like. Gleyber Torres had an RBI hit into left field, base hit, that drove in Juan Soto in the top of the first. And then we get to the bottom of the first, and Carlos Rodon continues to struggle. Bottom of the first, Randy Rosarina had an RBI double. It was a tie game at that point, and then Rays slugger Isaac Paredes hit a 3-run home run to make it 4-1. And to put emphasis on Carlos Rodon's struggles this year as a Yankee, let me just pull up the stats. Carlos Rodon's season ERA is now 4.63. It's the third worst ERA for any pitcher with at least 100 innings pitched. That was tweeted out by Yankees beat reporter Chris Keichner. And you also have to look at the fact that Carlos Rodon's numbers in the first inning are atrocious. His first inning ERA is 9. 19 earned runs in 19 starts in the first inning. After that, 3.33 ERA. So look, yeah, Carlos Rodon had that one blow-up inning in the first inning. The rest of the game, he didn't give up a run. He was fine. At the end of the day, I mean, what's going on? And one of the problems is Carlos Rodon's fastball is an absolute freaking meatball. His fastball was sitting in the high 90s tonight. And the home run he gave up to Paredes was on a 96-mile-an-hour fastball. But for whatever reason, he's getting no good spin on it whatsoever. It doesn't matter that it's coming out of his hand 95, 96 and up. It's getting hit. Hitters are hitting it with ease. It's batting practice. And we've seen this over and over again, start after start. And he can't locate the fastball. He's leaving it right over the heart of the plate. It's not like he's throwing it up in the zone where it's supposed to go. He's leaving it right over the heart of the plate. And every game, practically, hitters are doing damage off it. I don't know what they need to do, but you got to fix that. A pitcher that can't have a fastball to go to in his back pocket, what's he going to do? Just throw sliders all day long and changeups? I mean, seriously, that's a freaking problem. It's one thing if, a guy's off speed is a little bit off, but his fastball, he can't execute his fastball. Goodness gracious, man. I mean, we're paying this guy $27 million a year, and again, he's having a year like he did last year. I mean, last year, look, his ERA last year, I think what was Carlos Rodon's ERA last year? It was 6.88. Yeah, he was awful. So he's not that bad this year. But my gosh, for a guy we're paying $27 million a year, $165 million total for 6 years, this is a bad return on our investment. And look, I'm not saying the guy's not trying. Clearly, you can see in the dugout his reactions. He's completely flustered and just astonished of how poorly he's pitching. But my gosh, man, I mean, if you don't figure it out at some point, I mean, when are you going to figure it out? We're in year 2 now. You got healthy. Good for you. You got healthy. Came into camp in better shape. But when are we going to figure this thing out, Carlos? Come on. So, look, I'll give him props for at least settling down after that. But every run this team gives up always comes back to bite him in the ass because the offense has really not been doing much at all. Still, they get 3 runs tonight. 2 of them thanks to a Ben Rice 2-run home run. And that guy is absolutely killing it out of the leadoff spot. Yes, it was his only hit today, but he drove in 2 runs, and it was off a lefty. I thought Ben Rice couldn't hit lefties. He's in there against the left-hander. Great at-bat. I mean, this kid's been one of the few bright spots on this team, like I've said, and he's fun to watch. And, look, I mean, Soto was 0 for 4 today. I know he hit a ball over 400 feet to left center that was caught for the last out in the 9th. Judge was 1 for 3. But, again, whole lot of nothing today in this lineup, really, outside of the Rice home run and then Gleyber Torres having an RBI hit. Just sucks, man. It really freaking sucks. This is just, it just feels like we're staring at the same shit that we do every year. This team, they come out, start the year incredibly hot, and then we get into the second half, and then we just completely fumble. And there's the stats to back that up. I posted that on the Yankees on Deck channel where the last 3 years, the first half of the season had a well above 500 record. Then the second half, at or below 500. And just we're off. And if we were below 500, we were well below 500. It was terrible. I mean, what is going on, man? Why is the same trend happening over and over and over? It's every year it's like this. It's not just, we could just say it's this one year. It's every single year, going back to like 2021. So ever since 2017, that magical year where we thought we were going to the World Series, 2019 as well, it's been downhill. It's been downhill since then. I don't know what to do. It's just crazy, man. It's just crazy. We have over a $300 million payroll and we can't figure this out. There's just so many problems with this team right now. It's like not even funny. Carlos Rodon, he said after today's game, just not really giving my team a chance to win, giving up runs early, just have to put up a 0 in the first, just try to stretch something together. Yeah, I mean, good quote there. I mean, yeah, you could tell he's frustrated, but, I mean, we're frustrated too, man. I mean, come on. And Brian Cashman, my gosh, this deal, right now it's looking like one of the worst deals in Yankee history. I know we're just in year 2, but we got 4 years left of this guy after this year. I mean, come on. And then here's another stat, too. Carlos Rodon went 9-2 with a 2.93 ERA to start the year, to then going 0-5 in his next 5 starts with a 12.15 ERA. I mean, that's crazy. That's nuts. The fact that he's got over a 9 ERA in the first inning. And Brian Cashman, I mean, he's got a ton of work to do. I mean, it's just, his 4-seam fastball averaged 95 tonight. The home run he gave up, it was 96. His max fastball was 98.6. It didn't get below 93.4. Average, like I said, was 95.8. His year average is 95.4. The fastball velo is there, but for whatever reason, he's getting no good spin on it. And he's got a changeup, slider, curveball. You can't just rely on those 3 pitches and not have a fastball. I'm sorry. That's not going to work in the big leagues. But for whatever reason, the command of the fastball coincided probably with the spin. It just isn't working. So, but also there's plenty of blame to go on the offense. The offense clearly just did not do the job tonight. Other than the Ben Rice home run, they did have 7 hits, but again, I mean, oh boy, it's just, I just don't know. With runners in scoring position, they were 1 for 5 tonight. The only time they capitalized was in the first with Gleyber Torres. That was it. Another problem. This team can't hit with runners in scoring position. And we still have a ton of guys in this lineup who are slumping pretty bad. Volpe was 0 for 3 again tonight. Did have a walk. Grisham had a hit. LeMahieu actually had a decent game, had a couple of hits, but made a bad play in the field, a ball he should have had. Torres had a hit. Verdugo had a hit. Judge had a hit. Soto was 0 for 4. Rice had a hit. But the Yankees, other than getting the big hit from Ben Rice, they just couldn't. It's not like they could get the big hit in the gap or anything. I mean, they got the 2-run home run, but it was kind of too late at that point. I mean, they were down 4-1. And, then Ben Rice hits that home run, and it's like, well, we got 2 innings to go after this. Like, kind of, maybe should have started scoring a little bit earlier. After that first inning, I mean. So, yeah, it's just crazy. And look, we can go to the pitching side too. Carlos Rodon, I mean, at least he settled down, but still not a good outing. 4 innings pitched, 5 hits, 4 earned runs, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts, and that 1 home run really burned him there. After him, then one of our relief pitchers, Jake Cousins, he came in the game. He was great. This guy has been one of our underdogs in the bullpen this year. 2 innings pitched, 1 walk, had 5 strikeouts. 5 strikeouts. The guy's had 6 straight strikeouts. I saw that stat after today's game. Good for him. He's actually he's related to Kirk Cousins, the football player. I think he's like a cousin or something. So, yeah, cousin. Get it? Cousins? That's pretty funny. And then Michael Tonka came in the game. He went an inning and 2/3. Wasn't sharp. Gave up a run. Had a walk. 1 strikeout. And then Tommy Kahnle came in for 1 batter. And no, not 1 batter. 1/3 of an inning. And he gave up a hit. So, and that was it. So, because the Yankees were shut down in the top of the 9th. So, I really don't know. I don't know what the answers at the deadline are going to be. It's clear what this team needs. Watching game after game after game, it's clear that they need infield depth. I mean, we're really hurting there. Gleyber Torres has had a rough year. DJ LeMahieu's had a rough year. And we got pretty much no depth behind those guys other than Oswaldo Cabrera. That's it. And obviously the offense as a whole, outside of Judge, Soto, Ben Rice of late. And I mean, okay, Torres has started to pick it up a teeny bit, but he's still really not doing much. He had the RBI hit today. Cool. Hope he picks it up a little bit more after that. But look, I mean, we got a couple guys in this lineup at most doing something, and that's just not going to cut it. It's not going to cut it for a playoff team, not for a World Series caliber team. It just doesn't cut it. You need to add another thump in that lineup. You need to add another bat, a big bat. DH kind of, I mean, look, I know you have Stan coming back soon. He's going to play DH, but you can't rely on Stan to be healthy. Are you kidding me? Everybody throwing out the records, how good our record is with Stan and how shitty it is with him out. Are we serious? Like, look, I love Giancarlo Stan, but the guy is, a walking crutch. I mean, he can't stay healthy. We're really going to rely on that guy to carry us to the postseason. I mean, and I love Giancarlo. When he's hot, he can carry a team. He's a very streaky hitter. I love Stan for what he is. I hope he can come back and mash and continue to have a bounce back year and help his team towards a deep playoff push. I really do. But at the end of the day, you cannot be relying on that guy to say, oh, yeah, come back and save us. No, can't do it. That's crazy. And, so you need a big bat. You need infield depth. You need pitching. You need bullpen help. Bullpen help and starting pitching, I think. I mean, starting pitching has not been good. Garrett Cole hasn't been good. And look, I'm it's still early for Garrett Cole. He can turn it around, but I'm worried because Garrett Cole hasn't looked good. He's got like over a 6 ERA. Carlos Rodon has not looked good for most of this year. I mean, especially these last few months. He started off the season great and then fell off a cliff. He has not been good. Luis Hill finally had a great start again, the other day in the Boston series. You got Clark Schmidt still out. I mean, there's issues. There's very clear issues, and you could easily make the case that this pitching staff clearly played better than they actually were to start the year. That's a fair argument. I've heard that been thrown around a bit. That's fair. But at the end of the day, compiled with injuries that we've dealt with on the pitching front and just underperformances of late, we need to upgrade there. We need to upgrade in the starting pitching area, but also in the bullpen. I would love 2 bullpen arms, another starter. Starting pitching, I'd love 2 guys there. But look, yeah, the odds that you're going to get 2 starting pitchers and 2 bullpen arms and offense, it's not likely. It's like 6, 7 players. So realistically, what I would want is 1 starting pitcher, 2 bullpen arms. I really like Tanner Scott on the Marlins. He's good lefty swing guy. I think we should really be after him. And then that guy in the Angels too, Carlo Estevez. His last name is Estevez, I think. I don't know if I'm saying it right. He's really good. He's a right-handed pitcher. There's a lot more out there in terms of bullpen arms we could target. Starting pitching is a little bit more thin. You got Tarek Skubal on the Tigers, who is pretty good, but he's going to cost a lot, because the starting pitching, the market is a lot more thin than the bullpen. Obviously, bullpen, you obviously got a lot more guys in a pen than you do in a starting staff. So that's going to be, the starting pitching is going to be a bit more tough. You're going to have to give up a bit more for that. So realistically, my guess is they probably won't get to add starting pitching at all, and they'll just target bullpen. That would be my guess, because the Yankees are reluctant of giving up top prospects. And even for the bullpen, who knows? I mean, teams are going to sell high. They've also floated out names. Luis Rengifo on the Angels, he's really good, but they said he just went on the injured list. Jazz Chisholm, people say that the Marlins may trade him, but he's got multiple years on his contract left. Again, the Marlins are going to sell high on him, though. He's young, can play, corner infield, second base, third base. I don't know. I really, the market overall seems pretty thin. You don't know what the Mets are doing yet. Since they've started to heat up a lot this summer. So you don't know what they're doing. You don't know if JD Martinez is available. And Luis Roberts available on the White Sox, but he's really not that good. I think he's pretty overrated. Teams are desperate, though. They're desperate for pitching, again, desperate for hitters. I mean, I don't know. Brian Cashman's going to have to get a little creative in order to address these very apparent needs for this club if they want to stay in this. I mean, and we're looking at the division right now. If we pull up the AOE standings, the Yankees are now 55-38. They're somehow, I mean, honestly, I'm surprised. We're only 3 games out of first place. I wonder if the Orioles played today, because that seems off. The Red Sox, though, are now 50-40, and they're 6.5 back. And this is where it gets kind of scary. The Yankees only have a 3.5 game lead in the first wildcard spot, which is insane to think about, because when this team was rolling, and at one point, guys, we were 50-22, and now we are 55-38. Just think about that for a minute. I mean, how insane is that? And now the fact that we were at least 6-7 games up. This guy keeps trying to call me. Stop trying to call me. Jeez. Freaking. Fucking. It's like, I'm not answering my phone. Stop fucking calling me, dude. Anyway. God damn it. Well, I'm just going to end the stream there, because this whole episode got ruined. Jesus, man. It's just like, I deny the first call, and then he just keeps calling. Fucking kidding me, man. Jesus Christ. This doesn't end. All right. Have a good night, everybody. Fucking kidding me, man.